2012, archery was having a moment. The Hunger Games came out in theaters, followed by Disney's Brave. Membership at archery clubs skyrocketed. In 2024, a new sport is having its moment: tennis. Everyone's talking about challengers. I predict that we'll see a surge of 20-somethings wanting to take private lessons because, let's be honest, the movie makes tennis look sensual. Okay, the tennis in the movie is sexy, but is it accurate?
Want to play some singles?
I sat down with one of my best friends. We picked apart the tennis in challengers, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
No, that definitely deserves a second viewing.
This is Challengers, written by Justin Koritzkis.
I'm here with my friend David Huang.
Hello, hello.
And we actually played some tennis over the weekend. So how did that go?
I mean, my backhand was mostly there. I always had confidence in my backhand.
He has a great backhand.
I mean, your serve is great. Like, I mean, yeah, you had a lot of double faults. No, but like when it goes in, oh, it's powerful.
I don't feel like it's a representation of me, but I guess it is.
I started playing tennis at the age that you started getting bored with tennis. I started
Really?
like 12. Yeah, 12 years old. Grade 7. That was when I started playing.
I would love to get a bit into the tennis. Should we start at the beginning?
Okay, let's start at the beginning.
Fun fact about the umpire.
Yeah.
The umpire is Zendaya's best friend and personal assistant.
I would say that is like the coolest umpire I've seen.
He's got drip. Patrick's serve bounces it over his ear.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
Actually, when people first learn how to serve, this is actually pretty close to typical form that coaches recommend. Nicolás Jarry. In 2019, he was actually using a similar serve.
In their back scratch position, but watch the big knee bend right there. The foot moves up. This is what I call load and explode. Right there, he's loaded and then goes up in the air and yet gets the big muscles to help.
What do you think about the fact that Art uses a single-handed backhand?
Oh, the one-handed backhand up until the late 1990s, early 2000s, and pretty much everyone in professional tennis was using a single-handed backhand. But since then, racket technology evolved. Tennis courts got slower.
The one-handed backhand versus two-handed backhand debate is very sensitive because the one-handed backhand is incredibly beautiful.
All three actors, all three leads,
Yeah.
they did some extensive tennis training.
Okay, that serve definitely would not cut it. His hand is way too far up the racket. The racket face is actually pointing upwards, which is a big no-no if you're actually trying to get speed and fluidity in your shot.
If it's tennis arena, then I started -4.
Okay.
And ended -3.
Okay.
I was actually told to leave my pinky a little off the tennis racket.
Yes.
Like
Jake,
it should
right?
be that far down.
Jake?
Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a diss. That is a major diss.
Now this is realistic. Arguing with the umpire about an incorrect line call.
Are you blind?
John McInroe probably made this most famous.
You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line! We're not gonna have a point taken away because this guy's an incompetent fool. You know that? That's what he is.
Art, while he's down crouching, signals to the server, Patrick, his partner, what he's gonna do. And that's something that we see in doubles. We see both Art and Patrick at the net, which makes them open to lobs. Okay.
Okay, so I always laugh when I see the tweeter motion that Patrick just did. But it's just Patrick's preparation up until like the actual hit. like that stutter step to the baseline, and he's holding up the racket way too long. It just looks funny.
It kind of looks like a ball drops out of the sky, and then Patrick sends a CGI ball. But it's realistic that neither player would receive that ball because it's in between them. They don't know who's gonna pick it up. Here is Gaël Monfils hitting a tweener in the 2022 Australian Open.
Okay, and right away you can see Gaël has much less time to hit the ball compared to in the movie. And he hits the tweener really well. Gaël, one of the best entertainers on the tour.
And that's a shot where the crowd will go absolutely insane.
Yes, absolutely.
Tashi's character, she's a fierce, powerful player. Yeah. And that's something that comes through in the tennis in this scene and also through the acting.
Yeah, her shots look really, really nice.
Her swings, I think, are some of the best in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Both shoulders turn, not one shoulder, both shoulders turn as a unit.
We kind of see her sort of launching herself forward at the ball, which ideally is not something you want to do. You want to be stable and more rooted, like at the moment of contact.
This is my amazing tennis double, who I am next to, and as you can see, she's working with a ball, and I am next to her without a ball. All the shots are for all the tennis sequences are very meticulously choreographed. Yeah. Exactly.
Like watching this film, you would have no idea that there was no ball.
Well,
you did it. What are you, an actor?
Yeah. What do you pretend?
Also, the racket smashing in the scene, super realistic.
I love how many rackets get smashed in this movie. That's something that actually happens. Nick Kyrgios did that to Nadal. Remember that?
You're talking about the between the legs shot?
Yeah, between the legs. That's actually a pretty realistic shot.
That was actually a Pablo Cuevas shot. Oh. Amazing shot.
I love this.
He's got some serious balls to pull that off in a professional match. Because can you imagine how stupid that would look if it didn't go well?
That's insane. Here's a strange directorial choice. The pro is that we push in on a close-up of Tashi. This shows how fierce she is, how strong of an opponent she is.
Yeah.
As a con, it means she can't move on the court, which is not realistic.
I know, and that sort of took me out of that scene in the movie.
It looks like her opponent is just feeding her balls.
Yeah.
If Tashi is working so hard to push her opponent, Tashi would actually move into the court.
Yeah.
So what she's doing by staying at the baseline, she has a very limited angle on what she is able to hit. And then we have the horrific knee injury, which looks like a torn ACL or
and this
MCL.
is quite realistic. All the time you do hear about, promising young talents or like seasoned veterans having to, set their career back because of an injury.
Again, we're here. Very quick, very effective.
So normally when two people are at the net, it doesn't go on as long as this. The point is much quicker. But for dramatic effect, they're extending the...
But what's interesting is that Patrick hit the ball up on his own court, so he would have lost the point.
Art did cross the net before he even made contact with the ball, so I think normally that would result in the point being awarded to your opponent. I think it's always hard trying to adapt sports into a movie because the audience watching might not understand like every aspect about the sport. but also if you try to focus too much on the sport, like in the movie, you can bore the audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a fine line. I think they did very well. Tennis is a very individual sport, right? It pits one individual against the other. It makes for an interesting dynamic, especially because you get to see, the contrast between the two people's personalities, but also their two different play styles as well.
Yeah. Zendaya talks about tennis being a conversation between two people, but she knew that they didn't understand what she was talking about. I think what she's trying to orchestrate through the movie is a conversation between these two people who are friends, love each other deeply, but don't have that conversation. And so I think that's what the end is all about, really.